YouTube, what is up guys? Super excited today to bring you guys a banger of a case study, something that we are very proud to accomplish and showcase to you guys. We got a fashion brand here, faith-based apparel brand, going from 30K per month. This is what they were kind of stagnant at, 30K per month, all the way to 30K in just a weekend. And I will show you exactly what changed for this brand, what we implemented with this client, what the client also contributed to during this partnership. Actually, in fact, this client used to do 10K per month. So I guess it's safe to say 10K in a month all the way to 10K per day, because there was a certain point in time with this client where we were ripping 10K per day until stock was completely depleted. So let's get into the stats for 2025. Q1, this client did $101,000 in revenue with only roughly $9,000 in spend. Net profit is uncalculated because we weren't exactly sure of what the COGS and gross profit margin was for that client at that time due to the difference in what manufacturing costs might have been and whatnot. But their CPA was $4.09 across the entire account. When you're spending so low, what is that, $100 per day, it's safe to say that some of those purchases are getting accredited from organic and not necessarily driving net new revenue. Plus, at this time for the brand, they weren't really tracking any of the vital metrics like AMER and NCPA to see if what they were actually doing was driving net new customers. But going into Q1 of 2026, there's a 282% increase in total sales compared to the year prior, sitting at $286,000 in revenue with 75.8K in spend, with $98,000 in profit for that quarter, sitting at around a $20.83 CPA across the entire account. You can see here that the total CPA and the new customer CPA are closely aligned here, and that is heavily due to the last lever that we pulled that I will show you in the what changed aspect of this video. As you can see, 75K in ad spend, 2.85 in platform ROAS with $216,000 in revenue generated. In platform sitting at about a $27 CPA. As you spend more, you start to see a bit of a drop off when it comes to reporting on Meta, so we're not too worried there. The main reason why we're able to scale up to numbers like these is because we're tracking the vital metrics, and then 82K in revenue generated through Klaviyo. So what had changed for this brand? What did we do different? What approaches did we take that were maybe atypical for this brand prior to working with us? So the first thing that we did is we just implemented better media buying practices. It is very bare minimum for us to be at least implementing better media buying practices for our clients across the board. There's a couple things that having a good media buying structure and a clean account health hygiene. One, being able to read your data a lot cleaner. When naming conventions aren't correct, when there's not any exclusions for lists, when ad sets aren't properly segmented out, it's a lot harder to read the data and see what's actually driving results. Two, I touched on this briefly, but list exclusions. Being able to exclude your ads from people who had already purchased allows you to push the needle when it comes to new customer revenue, because you're not wasting ad spend on people who have already purchased, rather trying to push your dollars in a more efficient manner to people who have never purchased before. That way you can then grab their contact info, make them a customer, and get them to purchase again and again, which is free profits on top of that. Another thing is just having proper kill and scale rules in place and knowing when to cut a creative concept and or scale a creative concept while also being able to iterate or double down on a creative concept really compounds for a brand. Second thing that changed for this brand this quarter was creative variety and cadence. Now, when it comes to creative variety, we had a lot going on here. Roughly 211 ads running at one time. We were doing model videos, iPhone pictures, animation style, poster type statics, UGC style, I believe even founder-led videos, and like some unboxing stuff. Creative variety and creative diversity is huge, especially after Andromeda. Being able to have different creative formats, different angles, different personas in the actual creative itself allows you to hit so many different pockets of audiences now that we're in the Andromeda age. Another thing too is honestly not even the fact that we're relatively diverse in our creative, but more so the fact that we're sticking to a schedule. Every single Friday we provide at least a bare minimum of 10 creatives per client, and that being a mixture of statics and videos, whatever it may be, whatever the main business objective is that we need to be focusing on for that month and or week. We provide creatives every Friday. We give the weekend for our clients to approve, have any revisions. Every single Monday, we get up our creatives that we send in. Keeping this type of creative schedule, one, allows you to constantly be implementing new ideas, trying to put your winners to the flame to test other creative concepts that can then outperform your current winners. Also keeps your frequency down, which allows you to really fight creative fatigue. So that was a huge lever for us to pull. Moving on to, oh dude, another huge lever to be pulled was tracking profits, and specifically tracking numbers that are closely tied to profit. So in that quarter, we did $98,000 in profit, but one of the bigger things was the fact that we were able to see how our profit was trending and when was a good time to scale. So we use this internally. We call it our MTP log. It's a marketing to profitability log that tracks all the vital metrics: percentage of new customer revenue, AMER, NCPA, total net profit after the day is said and done. That is your true weighted gross profit margin against your OPEX and ad spend, to allow you to see, were we actually profitable that day? Were the actions we're taking within the ad account leading to profitability? And this is huge because we can see on certain time horizons, is what we're doing within the ad account actually increasing profit? Let's say the 1st of February, we upped budgets. Then 7 days later, on the 8th of February, we were able to look back on the data and see, did our average profit increase, stay the same, and or decrease? If it increased, amazing. Let's continue to double down. If it stayed the same, amazing. Maybe let's continue to push budgets a little bit more. If profit dropped on that average, maybe there's something within the funnel that's holding us back that we need to unkink. Maybe we're starting to overspend and fatigue some of our creatives. Being able to see these numbers allows us to see how the account is impacting the business holistically. Yeah, so that was huge for us. Now, this last thing was another huge lever that we pulled for Q1, and that is an irresistible acquisition offer. An irresistible acquisition offer isn't just like, oh, $20 off, 20% off. Like, this is a real offer pushed only to new customers. All of their returning customers were excluded from these campaigns. Their offers where the perceived value for the customer outweighs the loss of margin that happens. So what we did for this offer was a buy one, get one free hoodie. A lot of clothing brand owners are probably thinking like, oh my God, dude, there's absolutely no way that I could run an offer like this giving away a free product. But luckily for this client, they have really good connections and really good manufacturing costs. So we were able to whip up a gnarly offer, that being the BOGOs, and still keep a lot of profit after everything was said and done. So because we track all the costs for each one of our clients and their products, we were able to understand that after that offer, we're profiting roughly 71%. So after ad spend and acquiring customers on Facebook and Instagram, we were still netting 53% margin after everything was said and done, which is insane. So we did, within that time span, we did 32K. This was, like I mentioned, within the span of 3 days, we did 32K in revenue. I believe it was 12K first day, then 10K, and then another almost 11K. And we did 17K in profit within those 3 days, which is insane. 53% net profit margin. The only downside was the fact that we just didn't have enough product for that client. We completely depleted stock for that SKU within the matter of 3 days and had to cut ads. But still, it was a huge lever for us to pull while still being heavily profitable. So yeah, that's what changed. We did 282% increase in sales year over year, completely depleted their stock for that SKU, and also completely transformed their Q1. The year prior, 2025, roughly 14% of their year's revenue came in Q1. This year, well, honestly, this year I'm hoping that maintains the same, because that means we're constantly growing quarter over quarter. But this was a huge quarter for them, considering that historically speaking, Q1 was just a lot slower for them. So they were able to stack up a lot of cash from Q1, and now we're going to be able to implement that into these further quarters and down the year, and continue to acquire customers and reinvest into bigger stock counts and whatnot. So that said, our agency cannot take all of the credit for this amazing transformation for our client. This is how they contributed. First off, having an amazing brand, very good at fulfilling on their product, also very good at resonating with a specific niche within the market. They do a great job with always using customer language, always keeping the customer first. A brand that doesn't have a foundation like that could probably scale to those numbers, but they're not going to be able to maintain that and continue and compound and snowball that growth. So shout out to you, client. Another thing too is what they constantly had content for us. So like I mentioned, we provide 10 creatives per week for our clients, 40 a month, but we do not shoot any content. We'll provide skeletons, in-depth breakdowns on how to film certain things and what's trending across other accounts and or in the market, but we don't film that. So we provide those skeletons to the client, and they were on top. They were on top about getting that content to us. And because of that, we were always able to refresh the account and make sure that creative fatigue was fought and was losing. Another thing too is that they had amazing communication. This is a client that is very open and wanting to grow, and that said, always responding in the Slack whenever we need something. So if we need a specific input on creative direction and or an update on a certain SKU during that quarter, they were always on top of it. So super amazing on their part. Another thing was just having the confidence and trust, first off, in us, but also their numbers. Because we're tracking contribution margin and or just like net profit on a day-to-day basis, and because we're breaking down their product SKUs and the profitability on them, we're able to map out goals and predictions a lot cleaner, which then also provides trust in the numbers. And then also just the client being confident and eager to scale and wanting to grow is a huge thing too. I know some people don't necessarily care for growth and just want to maintain brand image and coast with profitability. So super sick. Shout out to client, absolutely killed it. Without these traits, it wouldn't have been possible to do this. That said, if you're interested in working with our agency at Brand Lab, we do acquisition, P&L tracking, creative, retention. We are a boutique style agency. We only work with about 12 clients right now. Our goal is to scale out all of our clients to their max potential possible, rather than trying to get as many clients as possible and have a huge agency full of 100 clients. Now, we want to keep it small, knit, and tight. That way we can maintain quality across each account. If you're interested in working, hit the link in the description, fill out a quick form, and we'll reach out to you ASAP.